Right then, everyone, welcome back to Stretford Paddock FC. This is the post-match podcast, and actually, a post-match podcast. They've not even got changed yet. We've just come back to the studio to do a quick podcast. Now, we wanted to do this after the Jolly game, but United were playing in the Europa League semi-final on the same day, so we couldn't do that. We wanted to do this on Wednesday, but we finished too late. So this is the first chance we've had to do a proper post-match podcast because of the kickoff times and all that lot. So joining me today, got Pete. We've got him on the end, and we've got Aaron as well. So there's a lot to cover in this, really, because we've got to go... I mean, we can go all the way back to the Ducky game. We've got the trial. We've had the game against Jolly, the reserves game against Boothstown, and then obviously today, where we picked up our first win and the first couple of goals from open play. Where do we start? Do you want to start on the Ducky game?
Can do. Or the most recent game.
Do you want to start on today, then?
Yeah,
because it was a win. And it was a win.
Yeah.
And it feels
Great
good.
win.
Right, okay. I said to you at the end of the game, then obviously winning is important, but performance is more important in pre-season. And I actually thought, football and ability-wise, that was the best team we played today.
They wanted to play football.
Yeah, they
played it
to play
on the
football.
floor a lot.
Yeah, they were a good football inside, and I think he's coped really well with them. I think we obviously have to deal with teams that want to be physical and direct. That's obviously something we've got to figure out, isn't it?
Not sure if they were better than Ducky.
Do you not think?
No.
I think they were better on the ball. I think they wanted it down more.
I do.
Ducky went over top a lot.
Ducky had a very good back four and midfield especially, but the two forwards, I think they played like a really wide 4-4-2, didn't they?
I think we're a much better team than we are now than when we played against Ducky, because when we played against Ducky there was still relationships within the squad that hadn't built as strongly, and now moving down the line we're sort of looking at, Aaron's the same person as he was a couple of weeks ago, so's Cam, but the partnership in midfield has changed a lot since then. So I think although Ducky might have been better, today was more of a challenge. They played the diamond midfield, which went against how we played. They played really good football, trying to play through our thirds, which again, we're used to somebody trying to ping it over the top. And we competed today. It was great.
I thought it was a really good game. This is probably going to be out before the highlights, so make sure to come and check the highlights on that out as well. Some people really upset that we're not posting highlights of the reserves games, but we're not posting highlights of reserves games. Like, we've got one camera up, and the guy does all the editing, and we ain't got time for him to be doing that multiple times in a week. So you're going to have to just lump that, I'm afraid. I would like to post them, and I would like to get the analysis from them as well, but it is what it is. How do you guys feel playing? Obviously, from that Ducky game, we've gone through the Ducky game, we had the trial, we played the Jolly. You didn't play against Boothstown. I know you filled in for us against Boothstown. Yeah. But do you think the relationships are forming, like Pete said?
I thought in the Jolly Cart game, I thought that was actually quite a good game. Especially the first half, I thought we were on top. I thought we could have gone into the half-time like 4-2 up, 3-2 up. Just missed a lot, or didn't finish any of our chances that we created. But I also think credit to them, because as much as they had people on the sideline, which you're going to get at every game, I thought the actual footballing team, I thought they had some good quality players. Like, speaking to their centre mid whilst playing, like, he said in the first half he was asking what league and stuff we were in, because he was like, oh, playing some good football there, what leagues are you? And I think just for them, obviously playing as a team, they've probably played, I don't know, like years together maybe. Yeah. Obviously they get new additions or whatever.
I think but when you've got a core played together for a long time.
Exactly, and they had a couple good players up front, and that one on the left wing, number 11, I think he was quite good as well. So I think we've matched, well, the games that I've played in anyway, I feel like we've competed in them, but we haven't managed to put our chances in the back of the net, whereas today we actually did. Yeah. But when we haven't done that, you go into half time, you're like, oh, we're still in this game. Might get a bit complacent, like in the Jolly game, and then that just all hell breaks loose, and they finish off a couple of their chances. Then the score just doesn't reflect the game as much. But I thought the Jolly game I actually quite enjoyed playing in, to be fair. Yeah. And then this game was better because we actually won. We finished our chances, because I can't say they had any real good chances where
Johnny made a couple of saves. Johnny made a couple of saves,
and he kept us in it a few times.
I can't huge quality chances.
I don't think they've had like a chance where I was like, shit, they've scored it.
Yeah,
There was the one that you lot might not have seen it on the pitch, which you might have seen it. The one that just creeped past the post on the right hand side.
Yeah,
that was a
second half.
There was a couple. It was a very even game, and I think if for anyone who's going to watch the highlights of it, it was a top game to watch because it was two teams that was trying to play football, and it was end to end, and it was chances at both ends, and I think that was what made it an enjoyable watch. What do you think the difference was, scoreline wise? Because obviously, like I think. Aspects of the performance have been there in every game, but at some time we've crumbled, especially against the Jolly. I thought we crumbled. I thought they got into everyone's head, particularly from the start. But today we started strong.
I think the fact going into half time 0-0 was a lot better than
keeping
conceding
the clean
about
sheet.
4 in the first 10 minutes or whatever we'd done recently.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just going to come better. And obviously, I watched the reserves team game. Didn't play in it, but I felt like as soon as they conceded, heads drop, that sort of thing. Whereas today, no one's heads dropped because we haven't conceded, and I feel like we actually competed. But they're diamond in midfield. Obviously, us two play in the midfield. I feel like that was something that we had to adapt and try
And they switched it up a few times.
Yeah,
there was a million different substitutes, they changed that. Didn't they?
And formations. They were like
as well.
flat
They kept
three
changing.
at time, and they played a few.
Yeah, that looked like it was graft to stay on top of what was going on with it.
For sure.
And the ref didn't help today. I'm not going to lie. I don't really have great relationships with refs usually, but today it was just he didn't blow for a foul that I thought a foul on me, but I did the exact same thing on one of their players. He blew for it. Then I asked for an explanation as to what the difference was, and he started making sound effects. He went, "You did," and then I went, "What?" And he went, "You went," and I was like, why are you making sound effects? And as soon as he started making sound effects, I questioned his sound effects, then walked off because I was like, I can't stand here while you're making sound effects.
I went and spoke to him at half time and I asked him why he didn't book you. Because you should have been booked.
Off when I stopped the count.
It was the one very, very right on.
I got up and turned around, expecting him to be there, and he wasn't, so I just started walking off.
He started giving that as our foul, though.
Did he?
Yeah. He started giving that as our foul.
He just seemed clueless today. And I was saying to their manager, because their manager was complaining on their side for a foul that we got given, and I just started laughing and went, yeah, it wasn't a foul, but he's been terrible for both teams. And
Well,
he just laughed and went, I understand, yeah.
I spoke to him and said, this game's descending into chaos a little bit. I said, like, why didn't you book our lad at the end there?
Rivy got fouled about 20 times in that game, consistently.
And I said, it's going out of control because you're not calling for anything. You're not giving fouls, you're not giving cards.
He
Like,
didn't
there's been
understand
so
some
many
rules.
yellows. Yeah.
Like, one of their
He was
players
bad.
was stood on our free kick, and we couldn't take the free kick. It was about 5 yards away. And obviously supposed to be 10 yards or whatever it is. And I was like, ref, and then pointed at the free kick, and he went, what? And I went, what do you mean, what? and then he was like, what's wrong? And I went, the away team player is too close to the football. And he went, oh yes, and then went and counted it out. But his 10 yards was about 30 yards, by the way. They were
Connor's out
massive.
for 2 weeks now. After getting kneed in the head.
Kicked in the face.
Well,
He
kicked
said
in the
a
face.
boot kicked
Okay.
his face.
So, and this is because he didn't call for an offside, which was flagged for. So we had linesman, which is a rare luxury.
Yeah.
We had linesman. The linesman's flagged for offside. The ref's not looking, not seeing it, not called for it. So the lads are playing to the whistle like they should do. And Connor ends up getting kicked in the face. And you just think, if anything explains
Which
the
you can't
comedy
say,
of the guy.
like, it's not, he hasn't gone and just booted him in the face. He's gone for the ball, obviously. But, like,
But it should have been blown.
yeah. And also, there was a question of a penalty as well for us when the guy, after I fouled the guy and that wasn't blown, he then charged at me, so I just gave the ball, and then he still ran into me, which made me fall onto the ground. And then the ref, I don't even know if he blew his whistle or anything, or the ball went out, and then he came over, and I didn't understand what he was trying to say to us. He was having a go at their player. Well, not even having a go, like trying to explain
There was
something.
a lot of confusion.
And their
for
player,
a lot of it, wasn't there?
their centre back was just like, so is it a foul for us or a foul for them? And then he walked off because he was just so angry at whatever had gone on. Because he wasn't even angry, he was just more confused, like what is going. So he just walked off.
Do you know what?
So
I
I
feel
started
for
walking
refs.
off.
I feel for
And then the
refs.
ref came
Who
over
would-
to me.
Who would want a referee?
The ref came over to me and was like, you both make a foul, you both need to calm down. And I went, so what's the situation? Because apparently it was our free throw-in or a corner. Because I didn't see the ball go out. I didn't see the ball go out. And he just looked around and went, goal kick. And I went, what do you mean goal kick? Because one of our players, I think it was Luke, was stood there with the ball in his hand ready to take the throw in. And he was like, goal kick. And we were like, what is going on
Who'd be a ref? Right, anyway, enough about refereeing. We spent too long talking about referee. Let's have a look at the first goal. So the first goal was Nosa's. It's good to see him getting on the ball. It happened later in the game. And I wonder how much the substitutions and the constant substitutions really affected the flow of the game. But we really started to get on top towards the last 15, 20 or so, and that's when we started to have like some quite clear-cut chances. But this is Nosa's goal.
Yes. Go on, Nosa. Go on, Nosa. That's the kind of pressure, Red. Let's go.
A lot of relief actually with that, but great feet, great awareness, and a great finish.
Tidy finish.
Get him on the ball in those areas more, and I'm sure that's going to be something that we
picked up a loose ball, wasn't it?
That was one of the big instructions of today from what we talked about over the past couple of days, was that we wanted to sort of press a lot more, something that we realised from video and stuff.
It wasn't an initial plan of ours.
Yeah, when we press, like, it makes sense because we've got a rapid front three. We've got Nosa who played
and a
the
workhorse in Adam as well when he came on. He just didn't stop sprinting.
Adam's not got the obvious. I mean, this goes. Rivaldo is literally a ranked sprinter. So to say he's fast, obviously, Adam's not got the same level of pace as him, but he's got this dogged determination, hasn't it, to just get amongst it, and that's where a lot of that loose ball came from. But yeah, like as you're saying, like we weren't planning on pressing, was we? And then from what we see through video and stuff, it made the most sense. So against Dukinfield and against Boothstown Town, when we pressed, that's where we got possession back the most. Even if they were trying the long ball, it was a long ball that went out to play and became our possession. So we had the idea of, okay, let's try playing their half a bit more, and it worked quite well today. And even though they changed formation about 12 times and tried to create different patterns and stuff, it still worked to our favour.
I think one thing they caught us out on was pinning the full-back and then a 1-2 round him.
Yeah,
that happened quite a bit.
I don't care who you are, that's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
Even in professional football, that's hard to deal with.
That's one thing that I think they focused on as well, though. So they've obviously worked on that.
Well, it's something we work on. You know, the 2v1 setups, which we saw at the end. Who had the shot? Was it Lou who had the shot? I think Lou might have had a shot. Luke created one. Yeah, Luke created one with a 2v1. But that's what we want to work on. You want to isolate people and create an overload with them. And like I said, it works in a professional game. It's going to work in amateur football.
Yeah.
Ronaldo had a quiet game today. We struggled getting the ball to him. I don't think it was quiet for any other reason than that. His brother, not so much. Very involved. Oh, I'll tell you what. He's currently banned, you know. From when the league starts, I don't think he can start. I think
Rivaldo.
Rivaldo. I think he's got a few weeks off because he's got an existing suspension. Yeah, we don't know the details of it yet. He was trying to tell me, but you know. Let's put it this way: I think he would start an argument and a fight in a room on his own. But Ronaldo was quiet, but when he was called upon, let's have a look at his goal.
Hold him up, go foul! Yes!
Fucking mint. There's so many things I need to re-see. Hang on. Show me the goaling. Wait, before you start it, I want to say what I'm looking at here for starters. So, first of all, I want to see... For starters, it's a foul. I think we can all agree. It's definitely a foul. But that referee was never giving anything like that because no one told him. I can't actually see what happens with the finish. But do Roby and Sam need to tell us something?
And also, if you watch the celebration, everyone's about to leave, and then Nosa goes, "No, let's just stay here for another one." So we all hug each other again.
That might have been for a little bit of a rest for him, that instead of...
He wasn't expecting to play 90 minutes, was he? But
no.
There was not a prayer I was taking him off today.
I put a shift in today, no.
It's funny.
He got booted. He's little, isn't he? He's little, and he got booted. In fact, the entire midfield's not the land of giants at all.
No.
Speak for yourself.
Let's have a look at that goal again, though.
Hold him up, don't foul!
Fucking mint.
And then Adam runs back as well.
Good times. Obviously, like I said, the results aren't huge in pre-season, but it's obviously nicer to win. And I thought, do you know what? Chorlton give us a scarf.
Yeah.
Seemed like a really top club, doing things the right way. Got their own YouTube channel as well, so we'll throw a link in the description. Go and check them out. The game had a bit of needle to it, but that's just two sets of lads competing. But in terms of the respect and the communication from the club, could not fault it. Obviously, we've had some different experiences in the last 2 weeks, but could not fault it with those.
Yeah. Well, we were speaking to a couple of their lads as I was driving out, and then the guy was speaking to us, and then he went, "Hang on, what numbers were you two?" Because me and Aaron were sat in the front, obviously, because I was driving. You see. And I turned and I was like, "Number 8." And what number are you? 6. And as soon as I said number 8, he went,
I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you anymore. He put some meaty challenges in, and then he just started laughing. And then he was like, told us whatever I asked him. I can't remember what I asked him, but yeah.
What league they were in.
Yeah, what league.
Yeah.
What do you reckon the over and under is on what wins for you? Do you reckon it's going to be called goals or yellow cards?
I haven't been booked yet.
Okay.
Somehow.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, not been booked.
Okay.
The only yellow card we've received is Ronaldo.
You haven't fucking scored either.
Yeah. So I'm going to say evens. I don't think I'll get as many yellow cards as everyone thinks.
You will.
Today's tackle...
Do you know what? Do you know why you will? Because you're a snide with the late little footing on someone. That's why. I couldn't wait to book you, me.
Today's tackle that I should have got booked for was only made, otherwise they would have scored. They were in their own half, but they were breaking. And I felt like it was a perfectly good reason to tackle him.
Where do you think we were
Absolutely
strongest
hacking
today? What do you
sure.
think worked the best?
Worked as a team.
Do you think?
Yeah.
As cliche as it sounds,
Yeah.
I'd definitely
Yeah.
agree. I'd definitely
I think
agree.
before we were bypassing midfield, we did it a couple of times in this game as well, but we're starting to incorporate the actual free midfield.
Yeah, I thought we move it through the thirds much better this game.
Do you
Yeah,
find it
definitely.
easier? I need to look at your passing. Some of your passing the last couple of games, wank. But did you find it easier?
You didn't shout at me.
Didn't it?
No man on.
No, I shouted at him
No,
a
you
couple
didn't.
of times.
No, you didn't. Not loud.
Not for man on, but for for mistakes.
Well, what we
No,
were
I got
saying in
clattered.
the
Did you check your shoulder?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, you did.
I get clattered in the first few, and then I thought I'm just gonna have to play it like I've got a man on me because I'm getting no talk.
I can't see behind me.
do you feel
You're-
like you
you're behind
played
me.
more passes today?
Maybe not today.
Oh, interesting.
Played them into
No.
me and Nosa more.
Yeah,
That was all I asked you to do.
I felt like me and
Yeah.
Nosa had some good link up. I thought there was a couple of one-touch stuff through the midfield.
yeah, it's good to watch in
some
front
nice
of me.
1-2s
I
and
thought.
stuff, and I thought
Just
the
love a small
fullbacks-
pass now,
I thought
mate.
the fullbacks linked well with the
Snap
midfield
pad.
today.
Hang on,
That's
do you want me to
just
pull up how many completed passes you did last week?
I thought I just stat pad it this week. You see,
Was it 4 completed passes last week from our midfield? And we wonder why.
no comment.
that's because we don't get given it. You see,
No, you do get given it. Because you had
1 out of 11 great passes is great.
You don't get given the ball. Do you know we were going to make a stat for how many Cruyff turns you do in a game when a pass is on?
I'm sure that's a great stat to make.
You definitely make more Cruyff turns and passes.
I did a couple today and they actually turned
worked
out. They
really
worked.
well, yeah.
See?
Yeah, but that's just the fuel for you to go and do it again
No.
when it won't work.
It's
What,
all about playing smart.
What do you think didn't work today?
Don't know. I feel like I'm still nervous at set pieces, like conceding set pieces.
Right.
Not like
Defend.
not like
Yeah, 'cause
attacking
we've not
set
worked
pieces,
on them
defending
yet, though.
set
Think
pieces.
attacking set pieces are working? We feel threatening from them.
Yeah,
The goal's going to come.
Yeah, it's yeah.
There was a couple of headers
We
today.
got we won them. We got a couple that we won.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think Ronaldo knew it, and I think he was just doing his own thing.
Well, it's Louis that the trigger.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's both.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, I look for Lou.
But
when
we
he
also
makes that.
we also had to pull him out. So we're gonna have to think of a plan B when someone leaves two up front, like they did.
We did have it.
No,
It's
the
all
plan
about
B is to pull Rivaldo out, but we still need someone to make a run, I think, and clear out that front of the box.
We'll work on it.
We've only played 3 games as a team.
No. I think
Because
there's-
their lads,
there's
when they
aspects
went
that
1-0
we're
down or 2-0 down, they were like, "It's all right, lads. We've only played three as a game. It's coming. And I went, "We've only played 3 as a game as well, 3 as a team as well." And then he sort of just went, "Yeah."
All right, so going back then, obviously we had the Ducky game, and then there was a trial. Was you impressed what you saw at the trial?
Yeah,
Overall,
well,
yeah.
clearly, because some of the trialists are in the first team now.
definitely improved first team.
Yeah.
Even if he was bulking it, and we've got first team starters as well.
How do you think the trialists are fitting into the first team?
I feel like it's quite an easy squad to get along with, to be honest.
Yeah,
Don't feel like there's any arseholes or anything like that in it.
Bar you.
Ronaldo. No, but like, I feel like there's like a good vibe. Good family.
Especially with the team
chill
bonding on
vibe.
Tuesday. Like Tuesday session was good.
You enjoy that?
Yeah.
I thought that was needed, mate. I come away with like cramp under my like dimples from like smiling that much, which is not how you're supposed to react after a 5-1 dicking that we had. But I thought one of the things that we were really struggling with was the talk. So I was well happy to see that session. And I thought it went off really well. It maybe could have been better utilised, shape, defending or whatever, but communication is such a fundamental part of football. Do you think the talk was better today?
Yeah. In aspects,
I
yeah.
think it was. I could hear Aaron quite a lot. Just
well, I can't
simple
about
things, stuff like man on. You can turn.
I didn't even
Bounce
shout
it.
at the ref once today because I just thought he's
That's
not.
a
Really?
lie. That's a lie, and you know
Adam,
it is.
pull me up some fucking clips.
It's 4 now. Hey, Connor!
Hey, drop! Come! Just fucking drop!
Hey, he's on the He's fucking grabbing his shirt.
Yo. That's a load of absolute fucking wibble.
Not like when this game had stopped, when he blew his whistle, I was shouting at him a few times. But like during the game, I didn't shout because I felt like it was pointless to appeal.
I remember trying to shout for about 5 minutes to make a sub. You know, and I've got quite a loud voice, and he just didn't take any notice of.
Didn't the liner on our side say, "What is he doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna protect, but fuck him. Yeah, the liner was like, I don't know him. Because I was like, is this your mate? And he was like, I don't know him. I was like, he's having a shit at your mate, and he's like, he's not my mate. He was all right, the liner. I don't think he got a single
The
call.
liner's
wrong.
a ref. He's ref me before.
Was he?
Yeah, and he's an actual ref. And I was like, why aren't you there?
Yeah, he was sound. He was happy days him. I don't think we'll have a drama if we get him. I thought he got every call that he had right.
Yeah, because we also scored an offside goal.
Who did?
Was it Ronaldo?
Roll
Or
VT.
Louis? No, I think it was Louis.
Yeah, and that
Louis
that-
scored an offside
he
goal, I
was
think.
offside.
Was it Louis or Ronaldo?
It was Louis.
Oh, right,
can't
oh, you
remember
mean
which
the
side,
one that
the
he
one that
called
actually got
offside?
called
Yeah,
offside.
he was
Yeah,
offside.
he was off.
He was off, yeah. Oh, that's not an issue.
No, that's what I mean. So, like,
You've done the right.
we scored again, but obviously, unfortunately, it was offside.
Yeah, Louis also, with the press again, someone give us the ball back, give it back in a little bit of space. Keeper was off his line.
Oh, that chip.
Oh, mate, it was, what,
that
7 or 8
went in-
inches wide? Yeah, and that would have been 1-0.
And we've been chipped a few times, so it's only
Yes, we
right
have.
that we get it back.
That's probably why it was in his head. Yeah, the chips haven't been great, and they've been unfortunate. But, you know.
I feel like there's things to work. Like, we've only just started, and I feel like the more the first team play together, the better we'll get.
Yeah,
Simple, really.
I'm very excited. Next week, reserves are playing Denton Thursday, and first team have got Urmston Town Vale on Saturday, and they're in our league, so that'll give us a decent indicator of the sort of standard that we're coming up against.
Yeah.
If it's another game like today, very even, could have gone either way, and we come out on top, really happy.
I feel like the key thing that happened today that didn't happen in other games was literally conceding within the first 10 or first 5 for that matter.
I think just like keeping that clean sheet.
Conceded
till half
early
time.
against Ducky,
Definitely.
conceded early against Jolly, and then didn't concede today. So like, the less we concede, obviously, the more we'll win, which is just obvious. But like,
Fuck me.
I'm like a philosopher, but like, if we can cut out conceding in the first half an hour, we're still focused on the game. Because I feel like as soon as we concede, everyone's like,
Heads go.
shit, now we're going to have to score.
I think that was part of our mentality going in today. We tried to put everything in the positive. Like, you guys go score in the first 20. You guys go get 4 shots in the first 20.
Yeah, like setting us the target as well.
Yeah. You guys push up the pitch. You go press. You go initiate and initiate the
One
hard
of my last
stuff.
words was, look around you. Do you think anyone wearing this shirt is shit? No.
Just all pointed at you.
Oh, well. Also, Kartik's got one as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like everyone in the team today was a good player. There was no one that you go, bit iffy him at times.
And there's quality on the bench as well. So that's when you know you're doing something right. That you can bring someone on and not be like, oh, shit.
No, and we've still got 7 or 8 players that we've not seen a minute of yet in the first team. Very excited to get Jordan a go. I think him and Adam are going to have a right duel for starting number 9. We need to see Parker.
Yeah.
I think that's going to make everybody's life easier because I think he's going to bollock everybody. He's obviously extremely experienced.
But he talks a lot as well.
Yeah, I think he does. And he's
I feel that's another thing that comes with game time. Like people being more confident to speak up.
Well, do you feel enough to bollock each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you're more confident and you know what you're doing.
And you know
but
that
also where you know where your other players should be as well.
And you know that it's not, if I ever go at him, I'm not having a go at him because it's Aaron. I'm having a go at him because of what he's done. And if he shouts at me, it's not because it's not like a personal thing. Whereas like at the start, you don't want to shout at anyone because you don't know them well enough to be like to understand whether are they having a go at me because I'm shit or are they having a go at me because I'm playing shit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it'll come. I mean, I think someone like Louis had a lot of chances at the moment and not put them away. But I think once he gets one, he's going to go off like a rocket. Tomorrow, you're not there, are you? But I think you and Lou, Adam, Luke, Ronaldo, a few of you are doing the one-to-ones with Ryan.
Yeah.
I think that's a very finishing-heavy session that he does with everyone. I can't wait to see some of the footage of Louis and that because he's got a real X factor about him, hasn't he? It's hard to remember he's only 17 because he's massive. I think there's something
He's
in
not
there.
the only massive 17-year-old.
No, we've got a couple of them.
I am quite big, to be fair. So.
You're younger.
You act younger.
Mental age. But yeah, the Jolly game, big learning curve, chose them on purpose. Ducky game, big learning curve, chose them on purpose. Didn't know a lot about Boothstown. Big learning curve in that game. Now,
but that was the first time the reserves ever played together.
Yeah.
And the first time we ever played together, we lost 3-0, and then the first time we ever played together after the trial, we lost 5-1. Yeah. So there's a bit of a trend going there.
Well, it's just you don't really know each other. I know they're a new
It's the trust
team
as well.
This is part of new teams building things. You build new relationships. You build new sort of angles and everything. Getting used to knowing how each other play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The more you play together, the more you understand. This is how that person plays.
He wants it in behind, he wants it to feet, he wants it laying off. You all get to learn that, and I think that's one of the things that we can't get too focused. Like, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of other teams are focused on us, but us personally, we can't get caught up with results. We've got to get caught up with performances. And today, we performed well enough for the win.
Yeah.
Like, if we lost 1-0 today, I wouldn't have been bothered because we'd done everything right.
It was like the Ducky game, wasn't it? It didn't feel like a 3-0 defeat. We came away and clapped each other and was like, well done, lads. We ticked off some of the boxes that we were here to tick off. And I think you're right. I think the performance today, if we'd have drawn 0-0, maybe even lost 1-0, I think the message at the end would have been very, very similar. Obviously, it feels better because you actually do get the win and you do get the performance, and the results
you
do
feel
validate.
rewarded.
Yeah, they validate what you've done a little bit. But ultimately, we're building towards a performance. I've seen a team in our league concede 8 this week. We don't know the standard. That's the problem at this level of football. Is someone in a different league, you have no idea what their standard is when they play a Sunday team to a Saturday team. Sometimes,
some Sunday teams are good enough to play Saturdays, but the seriousness, like in terms of like, can you be asked to get up, get there for like 2 o'clock, 1:30 to play at 3 p.m. Whereas turn up on a Sunday after being pissed on Saturday, get there for 10, play at 10:30 with your mates, but all of your mates are quality.
Yeah.
And then you just batter teams. Like, do you get what I mean? Some people like could play Saturdays if they want, but they choose to play Sundays because it's more relaxed, more fun. Because Jolly Carter aren't a bad team.
Well, no, I know there's at least a couple of lads in our team that are semi-pro lads. I think one of the lads who played up front, I think he plays as a fullback for ABA, who are in North West Counties.
Yeah.
There's half a chance he's getting paid to play at that level. So, there's a lot of that goes on with Sunday League teams. So I think we'll probably steer away from Sunday League teams and try and go with Saturday teams that we know either A, want to play football, B, have got a good culture about them like Chorlton had today. So I'll reiterate what I said earlier. Cheers to Chorlton.
Definitely, yeah.
Because
they were fantastic.
They'd be great, and I think we'll probably try and make that like an annual little curtain raiser derby sort of thing. Because Turn Moss is
Community
literally
shield.
it's literally on the border of Stretford and Chorlton, so it's a great little game, and I think we're very well matched with them. So I would love to keep playing them on a regular basis every year. Just have a pre-season friendly with them and see where we're at. But with Sunday League teams, I think it's a bit too up and down. We could pick a Sunday League team next week, put 10 past them, or we could pick another one and concede 5. Like it's so random. Whereas if we try and stick to a little bit of our league, or maybe the Manchester League, we can maybe try and figure out roughly what the standard is where we know.
Even with that, it's like even in professional football, one week you might win 6-0. Like look at Barcelona, they lost 8-2. To Bayern Munich. You'd never expect Barcelona to do that. They're usually the ones who whip people. So the inconsistencies from professional down to Sunday League, it's all about what's happening on the day and how to play. And if we prepare our guys to play off from the back and do everything like that, how we like to play, and somebody goes, you know what? Yeah, we'll put a high press on you. How do you like playing out from the back now? And we start having to go to the long ball because they're so pushed up the pitch. Long ball starts working. It's like all them little things accumulate into the result. And I feel as though the only reason at times where we have lost or where it sort of went either way is because of little bits of intensity and little moments where we've not finished or we've not done this or that or the other, and it's just marginal gains. And today, the marginal gains went our way because we've done things right.
I think one of their corners or something hit the crossbar as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But like they swung it in and then the wind took it as well as the curl. And
Hit it right in the corner.
Crossbar.
Like I said, the game literally could have gone either way. I don't think 2-0 reflects.
I think we were fitter than them. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, you swear.
A lot fitter than them.
They made about 30 substitutes.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
It's like a sub every 5 minutes.
It was annoying a little bit, that, I'll be honest.
With the refs signal like this for ages.
It was a little bit annoying how many substitutes
And
they
the system
made.
kept on changing.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I mean, we kept the same system for about 55 minutes and the same 11. And I think that worked in our favour a little bit. I mean, obviously I want to give everyone minutes who's turned up on the day. But ultimately the performance matters, and I thought we was holding shape extremely well. And I was reluctant to change it. How many subs were we using in the end? Was it about 6?
Around that.
Yeah, about 6. Obviously we had the forced one early doors with Connor.
We had 2 injuries, didn't we? Amir had to come off as well.
Amir wasn't on long. He had a decent
About 10
start
minutes.
to him, and got elbowed in the hip. I'm going to have to watch the tape because I haven't a fucking clue I get elbowed in the hip.
It was proper swollen.
I didn't see
It
it.
was, yeah.
Proper
He looks in
swelled
bits.
up.
I don't think he'll train this week. I think Roby had him down to start on Thursday. I don't think he'll be doing that.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, couple of weeks now to sort of get into a bit more of a groove. We've put together a bit of a 5-week plan for like the things that we need to see. Next week's all about midfield.
Do you know when the league starts yet? Or
No, I got an email off the secretary. I love how little of a fuck the chairman of the league gives. He was like, "Stop emailing me asking me because I don't know." We've got a bit of a drama with facilities that we need to sort out. We was due to we've basically been squatting at training, and they felt our collar last week. Like, who the fuck are you? But next week, from the 1st of September, we was due to start at our new place. It was due to open.
yeah,
They've rang us and said, "Oh yeah, the school's not opening until October 26th, so we have to take our lead from the school." So you're like, "Oh, so that's training and reserve matches no longer available. We was hoping to have had an announcement about the home ground. It's not confirmed yet, although I think it's
On the
likely.
way.
I think it's likely, but it's not been officially confirmed, so I'm not going to name it until it is. So as it stands, the home ground for the first team and reserves has technically been thrown into the air. So there's a bit of a graft and a bit of a panic, but I know there's 3 or 4 other teams use that facility as well in our league. So the league's obviously not going to penalise us for facilities being closed, but it is a gap that we need to fill and figure out, because we're playing all our games away at the moment. I might need to go and speak to Stretford Council and get on turn moss like everyone else. But I was hoping for 4G because I think it gives us a performance edge.
How we like to play.
How
and
we want to
stuff.
play 4G's where we want to be. And obviously we're going to have to.
Not sure I'll make
we're going to
many
have a chat
slide
about that
tackles
for
4G.
December, for when we do turn up at Turn Moss. But we'll be prepared, and I think
See more slide tackles on grass than you will on 4G. From a personal point of view, anyway.
Fair.
but
Go
I
on
think
carpet burns.
how we've started.
Yeah.
Obviously, trial was 2nd of August. So we've had a few weeks together now. Not
Yeah.
really had a lot of training together. The squads will be split as of tomorrow. So there'll be a first and a reserves. There's a little bit more freedom in between the 2 squads than we initially first thought. But the reserves are in a very tough league. The reserves are in the league that new clubs are meant to go in,
Yeah.
and we're too higher than that. The league have looked at the performance of us against Dukinfield and went, you ain't going in there. You're going up in Division 1. So we've been given a very tough task. The aim is to promote out of it. Whether we achieve that or not, we'll find out over the next 10 months, won't we? But I think we've had a cracking little start. It was very good to get a win out. Almost just relief, I think, to get a decent win.
Yeah.
But we need to build on it now. A couple of good games coming up. We'll have an inter-squad against the reserves where we turn up and treat it like a match in a couple of weeks. But yeah, we're having it.
Is that with a ref?
Yeah. I won't be booking the fella from today. Might book the linesman. Linesman was all right. Not going to book that.
We've got Karthik as well, haven't we?
I got a job for him.
Okay.
Linesman. Joe, we have to supply a linesman for every game.
Okay.
That's the job for Karthik.
That is Karthik.
I've got my flag. Not even kidding.
Okay.
Right. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Highlights will be out possibly tonight, I guess. I'm not sure when this is being uploaded, whether it's Sunday or Monday. We're going to go and watch the kick-off of the Champions League final and hope for a Bayern win.
I think Bayern will win it.
What do you think, Aaron?
Bayern. I
Bayern.
can't see Bayern not.
I see Bayern winning.
I think it's Bayern. Paris have got a couple of X factors, and sometimes that's enough in a final, isn't it? But I think Bayern are just too much of a machine. Right, cheers for tuning in. Like I said, make sure to subscribe. The 90 minutes of the game and the interviews with the players and some fans that have travelled. So cheers to Notch for travelling up and down the country to come and watch the paddock. What an absolute ledge. If you want to get all those, then join as a member and you'll get them all. But see you in the next one. Laters.